Today, we're digging into a really critical choice that IT businesses are facing, and it's all based on some fascinating insights from a report by Virtualization Options LLC. It really boils down to this fundamental conflict. Do you chase short-term profits, or do you build long-term customer relationships?
So let's just jump right in with the big question that gets to the absolute heart of this. Is your company really focused on building something that's meant to last, or is the whole game just about closing the next deal to hit a quarterly target? The answer to that says a ton about your entire business model.
Now, to really get why this question is so important, we've got to start with this immense pressure that shapes, well, pretty much every decision in a public company.
Okay, let's break this down. Shareholder value. What is that really? Well, think of it this way. When you invest in a company, you're a shareholder, and what you expect is a return on that investment, right? That return is shareholder value. It's not just about today's profits, it's about the company's long-term health, things like growing their slice of the market and seeing that stock price climb. This is basically the engine that drives corporate strategy.
So here's the crucial point. This constant demand for immediate quarter-by-quarter results creates this incredible pressure. And to keep investors happy right now, companies often fall back on a sales model that's all about quick wins, even if that means you're sacrificing those deeper, more valuable customer connections.
This pressure really splits the sales world into two completely different universes. So let's break down these two opposing models. You've got the transactional approach, and then you have the relationship-based approach.
First off, let's look at what they focus on. The transactional model, its eyes are glued to this quarter. It's all about immediate cash. The relationship model, on the other hand, is playing the long game. It's focused on the total value a customer can bring to the business over years and years.
And that difference in focus completely changes how they interact with customers. A transactional sale is pretty much over once the deal is signed. It's a one-and-done kind of thing. But the relationship model, it sees that sale as just the beginning of an ongoing conversation with real, active engagement happening all the time. This also changes the very nature of what you're selling. To be fast and efficient, the transactional model relies on standardized, one-size-fits-all products. But the relationship model, it actually takes the time to understand a customer's unique problems and then builds a solution that's tailored just for them.
This table right here just pulls all of those contrasts together perfectly. You can see the huge divide on every single level, from the initial focus all the way to the end result, which is either low retention or high loyalty. It's a perfect snapshot of these two completely different worlds.
As you might guess, that short-term model has some serious long-term problems. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket, a constant, super expensive cycle of finding new customers just to replace the ones who are leaving. You learn almost nothing about what your market actually wants, which leads to unhappy customers and ultimately a ton of missed opportunities for real growth.
So if the transactional model is so full of holes, what are the real tangible benefits of switching to a relationship-based approach? Well, the advantages are pretty significant.
This chart shows this amazing positive cycle that a relationship model creates. First, you get higher customer retention. That's your foundation. Then, those happy, loyal customers, they become your biggest fans, your advocates. They're basically your best marketing team. And all of that leads directly to higher, more sustainable profits.
So the question is, how does a company actually make this shift? The report from Virtualization Options lays out how you take this from being just a good idea to a practical, real-world business strategy. Because let's be honest, it's not a switch you can just flip overnight. According to the report, this whole transformation rests on three core pillars. It all starts with a fundamental shift in mindset, really embracing a customer-first attitude. Then, you have to back that up with real changes to your operations, like investing in dedicated account managers. And finally, you have to align your incentives to reward the right behaviors.
In that last point on incentives, that is absolutely critical. Think about it. If your sales team is only rewarded for closing brand new deals, that's exactly what they're going to focus on. You have to change the pay structure to reward things like customer retention and growing existing accounts. You get what you pay for.
This shift isn't just a job for the sales team either. Not even close. It requires building a customer-first mindset across the entire organization. That means getting marketing, product, and support all in the same room, investing in training, and celebrating the employees who truly go to bat for the customer.
So, if you make this big shift, how do you even measure success? When you're no longer just chasing the next quarterly sales number, you're going to need a whole new set of metrics.
One of the most important new ways to measure success is something called Customer Lifetime Value, or CLV. Instead of just measuring a single sale, CLV projects the total revenue you can expect from one customer over the entire time they're with you. It tells a much richer and, frankly, more accurate story of your company's health.
This slide right here powerfully shows the why behind this entire strategy. Just look at it. The cost of getting a brand new customer is astronomically high compared to the cost of keeping one you already have. Every dollar you invest in retention goes so much further than a dollar spent on acquisition. It's not even close.
And this is the simple core financial truth that this whole model is built on. It's not just about being nice or providing good service. It's an incredibly smart financial strategy. So, the key takeaway here isn't that shareholder value is bad or that you should just ignore it. Not at all. It's about finding a sustainable balance. The report makes it clear that by building strong customer relationships, you create the kind of loyalty and long-term growth that ultimately delivers exactly what shareholders want in the first place.
And that brings us right back to our opening question. This isn't just about what you've sold, it's about what you've built. Are you building a simple list of transactions? Or are you building a solid foundation of loyal customers that will support your business for years and years to come? It's a really crucial question for any leader out there to think about.